everybody. This is Sylvia Henderson of Springboard Training, and I'm one of the speakers at the Women's Entrepreneur Expo, and I'm here today talking to the organizer and the founder of the Expo, and that is Joan Henry. Joan, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you, Sylvia?
I'm doing fine, and I am looking forward to the Expo.
So am I.
I'll bet you are.
Yes.
Well, Joan, we're going to talk briefly today about the Women's Entrepreneur Expo. However, before we get into the Expo, I thought we ought to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are, since you're an integral part of the Expo. So who is Joan Henry, MSW, who is the founder and organizer and the president of the Women's Entrepreneur Expo?
Well, let me see. Joan Henry is the founder and president of the Women's Entrepreneur Expo. I have a bachelor's degree in human services from the Audrey Cohen College in Manhattan, New York, and a master's degree in social work from Howard University in Washington, D.C. My work experience has given me the opportunity to work with healthcare professionals, criminal justice professionals, and in various counseling capacities. Let me see, what else can I say about Joan? I am a woman of integrity, a woman with relentless determination to promote women-owned businesses, and as an entrepreneur, I know the benefits of being a business owner. So that's Joan in a nutshell.
Okay, and I think probably knowing the benefits of being an entrepreneur helps you focus the Expo on what entrepreneurs need, but we'll get to that in a minute. So what is the Women's Entrepreneur Expo, and when and where is it going to take place?
Well, the Women Entrepreneur Expo, with the acronym WEE, we offers a unique experience for women from different professional sectors to educate, share information, and inspire women of all ages to become successful business owners. It is our hope to ignite their excitement about entrepreneurship and the rewards of business ownership. We also assist women entrepreneurs to become successful in their respective businesses by interactive and hands-on workshop where they learn from other successful business women in their respective fields. That's we.
Okay, and I think that interactivity and that the hands-on nature rather than just listening is going to help the women who attend the Expo a lot.
Yes, and you asked when it's going to be. The Expo will be held on September 17th, 2011, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Freedom Manor, which is located at 10905 Livingston Road in Fort Washington, Maryland.
And you have that information also, in case folks missed that in the audio, you have that information at your website, which is www.womenexpo.info. And I think people need to, we'll say that a couple of times, to make sure that listeners know that it is Women Expo without the S at the website, and that it is .info and not .com. So we'll make sure we say that a couple more times.
Okay.
One of the things that struck me is that there are a lot of women-focused business and networking events in the Washington, Maryland, Virginia area now, which is kind of neat that we have so many resources. So why should listeners consider attending the Women's Entrepreneur Expo, maybe in addition to others, but especially yours?
Well, listeners should attend because this event offers education and on-the-spot opportunity for one to become an entrepreneur, meaning there will be companies such as Tracy Lynn Fashion Jewelry, Mary Kay Cosmetics, 5 Links, Prepaid Legal, and a bunch of other companies who will be able to offer entrepreneurship opportunity on the spot. Also, there will be very dynamic speakers such as you, Sylvia. Then we have Miranda Jackson, Delana Keller-Watkins, Eslyn Cooper, and a host of other speakers. So That is what set it apart. Not only does it have the opportunities, there are speakers to encourage folks who want to be encouraged.
Being an entrepreneur myself, I know that we can never get too much
That's right.
encouragement and just being able to socialize, not socialize, but, socialize and interact with other...
Networking. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Other people who are going through the same issues or in the same stages of business as we are, whatever that stage may be. So that's great. You said you were an entrepreneur yourself. I'll say, what inspired you to start the Women's Entrepreneur Expo as opposed to just join somebody else with their event?
Well, Sylvia, if I don't remember anything else that was said at my graduation, I clearly remember the host reminding us that we are agents of change. But aside from that, there are people that inspire me, and there are two that inspire me the most, and they are Mr. Steve Harvey and Mr. Willie Jolly. Mr. Steve Harvey's willingness to create opportunities for others really inspires me, and Mr. Willie Jolly's motivational speeches keeps me encouraged to do what I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute.
I have that book. Yes.
Actually, that's neat to hear that you actually listened at your graduation speech.
I'm saying, yes, I did.
This is not the first year of the Women's Entrepreneur Expo. How do you see its growth from its first year to now, and what do you think has contributed to its growth the most?
One of the main growth for this year is sponsorship. Last year, my only financial support were that of the vendors. But now I have sponsors such as Logon Technology as the official web sponsor, and that company is owned by Liz Goodwill. And then I have Graphic Design as the official printing sponsor, a company owned by Mr. Adrian Fraser. And then, of course, I have private sponsorship. I do believe that the highlights of the 2010 Expo that is posted on the website is the main contributing factor because it serves as evidence as to how awesome the first one was.
That's obviously some of the lesson you learned from the previous Expo. Any other lessons you've learned as the founder and the creator and the organizer that you now are applying to the current Expo?
Oh, yes. I have learned that effective planning is of paramount importance, and I cannot say it any other way. Effective planning, very, very important.
That's probably important to the success of all the business people that are going to be there, too.
Yes, I think so.
For vendors, the people who walk in the door, that's a big benefit to vendors. But what are some of the other benefits that vendors will have for participating in the Expo?
As a vendor, there will be great opportunities to showcase or sell their product and or services, meet potential new customers, recruit, and to network with others. And from past experience, that has worked very well because I remember a particular company that participated last year, they recruited 13 people on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was just one company.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge benefit to a vendor.
Yes, it is.
To me, the benefit is a target market. It's not just putting it out there to everyone. You figure once people come through the door at your expo, they must be somewhat interested in starting a business or improving their own business to be there. That's my own viewpoint on the benefit to vendors being there and vendors participating.
Yes, most definitely.
And if anybody listening has not become a vendor yet and wants to, how does one become one?
One can become a vendor by going to the website, which is www.womenexpo.info. Once they click on the registration button, all the pertinent information is there, or one can send questions from the contact page of the website or can contact me directly. And the number is 240-423-1628.
Okay, and I'll ask you for that again towards the end.
Sure.
Make sure people got it. So what can we expect at the expo? We know we've got vendors. We know we've got speakers. We know we've got workshops. Anything else?
Some of the things that one can expect from the expo are free admission, and that's a plus. Then we have free great workshops, lots of networking opportunity, meet and greet community leaders, and so on. You know, as a matter of fact, Mrs. Pat Lawson-Muse of Channel 4, she will be there to do a meet and greet. She did the ribbon cutting at the 2010 Expo, so she's coming back this year to do a meet and greet with the vendors, attendees, the speakers, and I know she's going to be awesome as she was last year.
Okay, yeah. You've got connections.
Yeah.
Now, with the name of Women's Entrepreneur Expo, people might think, well, this is just for women. Is it just for women, or can men participate?
Yeah, definitely men can participate. As a matter of fact, I had 2 male vendors last year, and I will have at least 1 this year. And, you know, Sylvia, funny enough, 3 of my major sponsors this year are men.
Uh-huh. I think the world, especially men, are seeing the value in targeting women as their customers and their clients because women's businesses are growing like crazy. I don't have an exact figure, and we are the buyers.
Yes, indeed.
A couple more things. How about a couple of tips? This is something I don't hear often. How about some tips for the visitors for how they can make their expo experience more effective? Sometimes people come in and they rush around the vendor tables and they look for freebies. They don't really take advantage of the expo experience. So how can the visitors take better advantage of it?
You know, if I have to say just one thing, I would definitely tell the visitors to be prepared to be at the expo all day. It is from 9 to 5. And I said this because there will be several speakers and workshops, and they all offer something different. Yeah. So being there so they wouldn't miss anything, that's the best advice or tip that I would give.
I'm going to throw one in for visitors to say, it may sound silly to say bring business cards if you haven't started a business yet, but bring at least pen and a pad of paper or some 3x5 cards or something like that on which you can write your contact information, but you can also write a little more detail than you can on the back of someone else's business card. And one other tip I learned is to bring a plastic bag, just a little Ziploc bag, where you can throw in all of the cards that you get and all of your index cards where you write notes, and that way they don't get lost in your briefcase or your portfolio or your pocket. So that's my little 2 cents worth for visitors.
And you know what? That's great advice. That's a great tip.
I went to a seminar years ago on how to be a good conference attendee, and that was one of the best tips I received.
You know, the next time I have an interview, I may have to borrow that, Sylvia. And
there you go. I'll let you use that.
Okay.
Any final words for people considering the expo?
Well, the first thing is that, once again, there is still room for sponsorship and vending opportunities. Secondly, I'm asking everyone to please visit the website for ongoing updates. There's always going to be things coming up, updating as we approach the expo. And once again, that website is womenexpo.info, or my phone number, which is 240-423-1628. Last but certainly not least, let me say to everyone that I do believe that everyone should adopt the mindset of an entrepreneur in today's world. It is the best way to stay sharp, stay sane, and stay or get employed.
Boy, I'm going to end on that one because that was brilliant. So, Joan, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
I encourage everyone who's listening to this to come to the expo and let other people know that they need to come to your website, listen to this interview also, and the interviews with the other speakers so that they can get a good sense of what to expect at the expo and get maybe a couple of extra tips. So thanks a lot, Joan.
You are quite welcome.
And once again, I'm Sylvia Henderson, Springboard Training, springboardtraining.com. I hope to see you at the Women Entrepreneur Expo on September 17th in Fort Washington, Maryland. Take care.
Bye-bye.